explosive new allegations, a whistleblower has come forward to claim that CIA analysts who favoured the lab leak theory were bribed to change their position. The reason? To take the focus off China and the Wuhan Institute of Virology. Over at the office of the Director of National Intelligence, Adrienne Keen, who's in charge of global health security, was also understood to be pushing the natural origin narrative. We can now exclusively reveal that in a clear conflict of interest, she has a history working with the World Health Organization.
I had found out that apparently she was an outside advisor also to the World Health Organization. They are a political agency, they're a UN agency. It's just not appropriate to do work for a foreign power, and that would include the United Nations. She was, I believe, an advocate for zoonosis, but she was very involved in discrediting the information that we were trying to present to the Secretary of State.
Adrien Kean and the ODNI, the peak intelligence body in the US, didn't answer my questions about whether Kean had disclosed this conflict of interest. Instead, they sent this statement, saying they'd complied with all of the intelligence community's analytic standards, including objectivity. Former director of the ODNI, John Ratcliffe, says there's a very strong assessment that this was a lab leak.
Well, listen, the people that had access to the most intelligence, including myself and Secretary Pompeo, are telling you that the most likely origin of COVID-19, of the Wuhan virus, was a lab leak at the Wuhan Institute of Virology. So all of the people that had access to the most data, the most intelligence, will all tell you the same thing, that this is really most likely what happened. And it's more than just a possibility, it's certainly a probability, and it's probably a certainty.
Perhaps one reason they're so adamant is because of a crucial witness the FBI has been cultivating over the past 2 years. It's a close relative of a Chinese military scientist who worked with the Wuhan Institute of Virology.
He's published almost 60 papers just on his study of SARS, and he was a professional vaccinologist, meaning is that his study was focused on vaccines.
His name, Dr. Zhou Yusen.
One of the things that we recognized very early in our study of this was he was one of the first individuals to publish a patent for a SARS-CoV-2 vaccine.
So where does that take the time frame back to? Where would Zhou Yusen have had to start working on his vaccine for COVID-19?
No later than October of 2019. That's what our assessment is, and it's based on the fact that to do what he was trying to do, that's about the time that he had to start. And interesting enough, he published papers that describe the process that he used to do that.
Dr. Zhou Yusen is thought to have begun working on a vaccine for SARS-CoV-2 no later than October 2019. In a mysterious turn of events, just months after this crucial discovery, he was found dead. Intelligence agencies suspect foul play. What do you think about this statement? Zhou Yusen may have been killed by the People's Liberation Army for accidentally starting COVID-19.
It's certainly possible. We considered that as a plausible possibility. However, we had no evidence to make that assessment.
The Proximal Origins authors have been approached for comment and to appear on this program. As yet, no response.